top that. But here we go on to Dust 2. CLG versus Vexed. Both teams end up here. You know why, Launders? Because they both lost to Splice, who's already advanced through this group into the Major.
Always nice to have something in common.
Yeah, right?
So, yeah, I mean, Vex lost to Splice 16-7. That was a Mirage match. They had really good cohesion on that map, or that is Splice. They made Vex look terrible compared to the performance that they had on Train versus SK, where they made SK look like scrubs. So now CLG and Vexed have to go up against each other in a best-of-3 elimination. Loser goes home, winner gets sticker money.
That's sticker money. Here's Vex on the CT side. That's going to be Repo, Oscarish, Rallin, Groovy, and Furlan. CLG on the T side. Tarek, Cutler, Fugly, JDM, and Hazed. And JDM, you'll see him there a lot this match. Probably not with the Glock at all times, but here we are in the pistol. 4 Kevlars for CLG, utility on Hazed, and just all armor for Vexed.
Yeah, mid-control been taken. We can see that a cat split is imminent right now. We have one person at long. That's Rallin, actually all alone. He will be the linchpin of this part of the map and pretty much the entire split. I mean, if he shuts this down, he gets the bomb, but it looks like the bomb's actually fallen off. They're not even going to contest long at all, it seems. Cat can be kind of tricky versus USPs, and Furlan's going to potentially show us why, and there is an opening pick from him.
Yeah, Repo gets the first kill, and then finding a second one. Furlan, Groovy, and Rallin, everybody chiming in pretty much. Oscarish looks like he was there as the shield. He took the most damage, but comes away without a kill. Vex Gaming leading 1-0. Great start for them. The
biggest issue with the Glock is if you don't get that kill really early, then it's super easy for USPs to close in on you, especially when they have that information. So originally, CT start out really spread thin, and then if the Glocks get a kill, then suddenly you have the explosion, that train onto a site, and a key part of the map is completely exposed. The bomb could potentially go down, but if the USP gets the first kill, all that momentum is stopped instantaneously.
So bomb down, you're in the upper tunnels as CLG just look to control them, and maybe they can catch some Vexed members that might want to push in, but not going to happen. We've got Oscarish just up on the double stack, and Groovy patient back in the bomb site now, moving over to the platform, looking into the tunnel, seeing nothing yet, and our one man for CLG who's on the lurk over at long, that'll be JDM. Oscar's extremely blind as CLG pushing out, getting their way onto the bomb site, lining up there though, and actually Tarek getting a TK. Cutler comes over the boxes, brings down Oscarish. Rallin, $600 as he kills Cutler. That'll be the flank. JDM has been cleaned up. Fugly on 5 HP can do nothing. Vexed 2-0 start.
That round was kind of worrying for me from CLG because they waited long enough. There was no nades in the tunnel, no smoke. Tarek threw a smoke at the exit, and then the player who was supposed to take the brunt of the damage or do the brunt of the damage on whoever was exiting tunnels got completely blind. So they neutralized them for at least 4 or 5 seconds, and they still couldn't get in the site. So the fact that they had like everything going for them in the eco and up until that point, being able to explode into the site and still not being able to get 2 kills, makes me worried. You see when a team's on fire, like an eco like that with everything falling into place in that scenario, that things work out a lot better. But somehow 2 kills coming out on this full eco, and obviously it is a round that you hope you win, but it's much more hard to plan for that than anything else.
Yeah, so Vex Gaming, they don't want to give CLG any time to set up. They just storm right up middle, some presence there. Also on the catwalk, that's dropped the bomb. Cutler came up long and has now walked through the site and trying to engage a couple members of Vex here on the catwalk. But the bomb all the way down by those barrels, the former palm tree. Can Cutler find a frag? Make it expensive. He'll peek out, finds 2. Oscarish getting the kill. Vex Gaming out to the clean start. The 3-0. 3 rifles remain. And the CLG money is okay to get rifles, armor, and decent utility. Even the op coming out for JDM.
Yeah, there's a couple reasons why people push up mid on the second round versus saving players, and one is to shut the round down right away, and also not to have to succumb to the fact that your disadvantage on CT is being so spread apart. So if you impose your will on them by pushing up middle, for example, you all get to stay together. Ooh, JDM opening up that round with his pick. First opening kill on a rifle round so far. Yeah, they had some SMGs to get rid of, right? So that's why we see sometimes people group up on CT and throw their advantages away on CT. That is like holding angles, playing back, and just group and push something together.
Oh, Fugly, he'll even it up. So getting Furlan off of the catwalk, who was going aggressive. That was the op looking for the pick. Repo will take it off the corpse and go back into the A site. And it's Rowland who got picked off at the start of the round by JDM. They had 2 people cross the doors trying to bait the shot, but JDM was patient. Sees a 3rd cross, holds the angle as they then sneak into lower B. He hits the shot. Now it's Fugly who's in lower B and causing Vexed some problems. He's got 2 kills already, but will get smoked off. What will Groovy do? Does he want to push this, walk push it, as maybe he heard the footsteps of the CLG players retreating out of there. Repo at the double doors. Had some big rounds on, where did we see him on? Train.
Train solo B.
Yeah.
Did a fantastic job. That was a little bit rough from Tarek in upper tunnel, waiting for that push, not getting that kill, not doing a lot of damage. Very different from the Tarek we saw yesterday.
On that overpass match.
Yeah, was getting, just like multi-kills almost every single round. But overall, very, very dominant round from CLG. It goes exactly how you want it. The op opens up the round, which is what you're waiting on most of the time in your default, and then you find a second pick on a player pushing. A 3rd man pushes into tunnels. They lose Tarek in a situation where he probably should have got that kill, but they trade him out immediately, and so everything falls into place really nicely. Apart from Tarek, they barely take any damage, get the bomb down, and can move on to the next round. And it's kind of on Vex to see if they can pull off something similar and last a little longer or trade out better.
Well, Vex were very aggressive on their last anti-eco, and then they tried to keep that aggression going into the first rifle round, like crossing 2 to B, pushing 1 up on Cat, and even trying to get a man through the mid double doors and into lower B, and that's how they gave up the first kill. Then the aggressive person on Cat went down, and CLG find themselves 5 versus 3. Surely you don't drop the round from that point, and they don't. They get on the scoreboard. It's now 1-3 with Vex leading.
Rowland's actually picked up a scout, so this is a obvious disadvantage on this round versus the op of JDM, which almost was afforded a kill there. He actually misses a flick that. Oh, that was Cutler because he had the spawn.
He had the spawn.
Oh. And I was going to say uncharacteristic, but at the same time, shouldn't have been a hard shot for anyone to hit. I feel like either way, they got some info on long that can be almost certain that someone has been escorted to pit, and it looks like a boost on double stack to help out for mid to B. So this is, Repo getting on the mid box here in CT means that they're anticipating something heavier towards B than A, because they really have Rowland with a scout at A. That means they're choosing to play it really light.
Well, CLG gonna work their way out middle very, very slow. They don't have a smoke down, and they are just walking out. Gonna be spotted. Hayes hitting a fantastic shot onto Rowland. Now Repo will show himself. Hayes, double entry. As Groovy peeking out of the doors, will take down Tarek. Great flash. That allows for a free kill onto Fugly, and they evened it up right away. It goes into a 3-on-3. Now JDM coming through the upper tunnels. That B site has cleared out. Vex Gaming going to try to rotate back in. Groovy comes through the doors. More flashes to support. That actually might have been his own. And he finds another kill. That makes it the 3rd on the round. And now Furlan, he's left that pit position. He's pushed. He's on the big flank. He gets JDM up and bomb down in the same kill. Oscarish finishes off the round.
That was interesting. They shut down the mid B split and then pushed out of the site. And I would say, like, there's 2 plays you can make in that situation. Typically, if you're solo and mid B split is coming to you, your mid guy dies, then you might like flash push upper tunnel so that you only have to deal with 1 choke point. Well, they had 2 people in the site, and that I mean, if CLG decided to continue with their split as was planned, they would have had 3 people come in tunnel while 2 people were outside the site, and they could have potentially got smoked off in a 3v3. So I feel like it was weird for them to push out, but at the same time, I guess it makes sense that they were playing together. Either way, we're moving into another rifle round. Repo gets the first kill at long, dodging a flash, and then Hayes trades him instantly. Really good on the entry so far. Hayes gets a second one.
So 2 rounds in a row now that Hayes has got a double entry. This time, well, last round he got it for free. Here a teammate dies, but that's a cost that's worth it when you're on that T side. Rowland gonna go ahead and extinguish the flames, try to move out. Actually, we switch quickly over to JDM. We see him dying on Cat. It's Groovy who executes him.
I don't know why the bomb is all the way back here at long. They completely lost sight of it, and they have to actually cross back. I think it's in their best interest because Vex know that they're on plat to look for the frags before actually going back to get the bomb, but that is a mission in itself, and they got to be worried that Vex have found the bomb. So it's almost like that they can play themselves in this situation if they overthink it.
And I think CLG very fortunate that there were no HEs available to Vex, because those 2 people on the site, both Hazed and Tarek, were so low. 1 nade could have killed them both. You saw the Molotov go in, and they had to extinguish it. And now Vexed Gaming in a pretty decent spot because they had to go back for the bomb. They'll have to cross again. Rowland's able to get up into the site. Spots one jumping, will take the shot, and it's Oskrish who will kill Hazed. So it's all going to fall on to Tarek on 19 HP. 1 versus 3. Spots a man in the air. Can't shoot him down. Well, does find the kill as he goes up into the site. 18 seconds. He's going to go for that money. Would have loved to have evened it up 1 versus 1 before he planted, but now it's a 1v2 post-plant situation. Tarek can't hold on. And, I mean, despite Hayes' best effort, getting 2 entry kills the last 2 rounds in a row, Vexed Gaming are still able to outplay them in the end.
Well, number one, you know, it's just the aim is not on point right now. JDM missed a frag at mid that he should have 100% gotten. That he had his, you know, a player with their back turned to him. And then we had the bomb left at long, which is, you know, that if anything's going to throw a wrench in your plans, it's going to be something like that. And on top of all that, it came down to a 1v2 where Tarek had very low HP. Also, Hayes wasn't able to cross because his own long smoke wasn't that great. And that's something that you should have that set. You know, they're coming back from long. Like, they're running out of time, but they're not completely out of time. I mean, what more is there to say? You can line that smoke up on the run, and it's typical to throw a long smoke, you know, offhand. But why do it if you have one? If you had one set, you'd throw one, right?
Yeah, and they had to go back for the bomb anyway, so just line the smoke up from where you normally would throw it anyway. When on a stationary play, they had the time to work with. So the fact that someone dies on the cross, it's almost unforgivable right there, and just not able to hold on throughout the mid and late round portions.
Even accidentally caused the rotations, right? So even though there are 3 people on the site, 1 elbow, 1 CT, 1 cat, and they assumed the bomb was going to go down, as soon as CLG went back to get the bomb, they heard the footsteps running away. They figured, oh wow, it's some type of fake. They're going B. They don't know what happened, and CLG on their way back just decided to, you know, make a lot of noise, and then I feel like kind of like, you know, made it harder for themselves to win the round. I mean, if they didn't smoke it at all, they could have taken a challenge, maybe had a better chance. I'm not losing a player who had 100 HP. Few issues.
So they have taken a pause, a timeout, using their 1 timeout per map, which is why you're seeing us instead of the game. They need to talk about things. They need to make an adjustment. They've been good to get the early advantages. Again, Hayes hitting entries, 2 back-to-back rounds, getting double kills right off the start, but then it all falls apart in the middle. As a player, I know you played a pretty high level yourself. Like, how do you tighten that up? Like, what's the discussion that they're having right now?
Honestly, for me, like, when I think about their pause right now, I see it as just like a total reset mentally, because it seems like they're, as you're saying, getting these advantages, and then they're just throwing them away. You know, these are morale-destroying rounds. And from what I see, it's like whiffing shots, right? Shots that they shouldn't miss. Shots that it's not like they're, it's not as if they're not ready to play this game. They've definitely deathmatched. They definitely talked about this last night. They played a lot of Counter-Strike yesterday. Like, they're ready to play, but for some reason, they're off. They're off their game. Each of them individually, and then together in communication. Like, how does the bomb get left in long doors of all places? So I think it's just an emotional reset, a time to just take a break and think about things. Pete is obviously giving them a little bit of a talk, a few words for them.
Yeah, that's true. PETA can probably do a lot for this team. I mean, a lot of the coaches here, you know, resumes questionable perhaps.
Oh yeah, I mean, some of them are just team owners,
managers.
Yeah.
Keep the memes alive. No money for CLG either, so they can be talking a little bit about what they want to try to do, what they can invest in, maybe a couple upgraded pistols and flashes, get a pop flash in there, and find some kills. But they'll talk about this round, and then round 8 actually will be when they have money again.
Yeah, on that point, I wonder why they take the pause during the eco when they could simply like talk during the eco.
Yeah.
Something Existence was known to do.
They're the terrorists. They dictate the pace of the game. They could just sit and spawn and not have to waste the timeout.
I mean, they're most likely not going to win this round. You know, they can delay as long as they want, as you're saying. They could talk, save the pause. If they still haven't thought of anything by the end of the round, they can use the pause for the rifle. So, but we always see right after like a hard rifle loss, the teams take the pause when they have to save.
Yeah, so that's kind of like maybe more so just for the mental reset, because the game's not going to reset as much, even if you are just kind of hiding out because you're still playing. So who knows? I'm sure it's a question that we can bring up in an interview. Although there could be a problem because we are only interviewing the winners. So CLG, will have to make the comeback here. Yes, it is 3 maps, and this was the pick by Vex. So they've started out on the CT side. They've done well on their map pick. Followed by Cobble, and then what was the 3rd map coming out in this series if it goes the distance? It's going to be Train.
Train was a map that Vex had a really good time on T-side on, and if CLG end up playing scared or the communication isn't on point like it is right now, that's going to be super hard on Train. Like, that is probably the hardest map in terms of communication of any map there is. Like, callouts are one thing, but when it's a 3v3 out in the middle of the yard and there's people on different sides of the trains and they can get around to different areas on that site, which is like so huge with so many different pieces of cover, and you aren't completely focused and clear about what you're saying to your teammate in terms of what you know about where someone is, then you'll get destroyed every time. So
Yeah, so already, could be showing a sign of weakness if it goes to Train because, they're starting off the rounds with the advantages, and it's coming down to the mid-round communication and calling and teamwork for CLG. That's what's been falling short. Not able to convert more than one round, and that came as a one-off win in what was the first rifle round. Since then, Vexed was able to strike back, and they used pretty much all 5 minutes of that pause. So that was a very long talk, a very long reset. Also maybe could have cooled off some of the Vex Gaming players that got off to a good start, like Oscarish, Rowland, and Groovy.
And we could suppose maybe they use part of that time to talk about what they want to do this round. Maybe they feel like they can make themselves or give themselves a better chance to win it. But there's the push off of Cat. Furlan finds the first headshot, and now there's two people in tunnels that have gotten a little bit of information. They can hear the players from CLG running through lower, and the only thing they made of this round, that is CLG, is Cutler out long with the Deagle.
Yeah, that could get interesting. He was in pit for a while. I thought the Deagle maybe might find a frag if Repo was getting interested, but here on Cat, it's Furlan taking everyone out, pulls out the USP to bring down Hayes with a headshot. Nice 3K, actually 4K for him, and then Repo finds Cutler, who is trying desperately to make his way up long. And Vexed 6-1, but this has got to be the round that CLG talked about.
Yeah, rest right here. So we'll see what the strategy is. If they want to do it, so take the round a little bit more slowly. We saw the one round that they did win in the 6-1 was when they let JDM work his pick. They hoped that Vex were to do something aggressive, which they honestly have. They have very little incentive to do right now. They've got a huge lead, a lot of nades that could be thrown away if somebody decided to rush or push something and die. And it seems like the default is to something towards A. Cutler doing a bit of damage to this door, but it won't be that great. And Repo,
he's so
very
blind.
aggressive. Yeah.
I think that flash looked like 5 bounces, so he assumed it was a bad flash and didn't peek after it, but if he did, that was a free kill. Cutler was absolutely blind, also didn't hit the headshot on the person that kind of walk peeked the door. So it remains a 5 versus 5 with some damage having gone both ways. Fugly going to make his way up Cat, and actually 2 players in the tunnels right now, so possibly setting up this Cat control and upper tunnels for a mid to B split. It's Tarek and JDM up there, and it'll be JDM to start off the round with a kill onto Oscarish.
That's huge. 1 minute left, still plenty of time. They didn't actually make anything happen with that kill, except what they can do is wait it out until they see if Vex now will push something, which they might be more inclined to try and do. We still have Furlan on the mid B boxes, and that might not be the best place to go, but Fugly going to challenge him in CT. Will he find the frag? Wow, Furlan fails that kill. A huge one. Groovy also goes down, and that leaves mid to be open with long control being held by Repo and Rowland. Maybe their 2 safe spots as well.
Yeah, it was a pretty awkward spray down there in CT spawn by both of those players, but it ends up working out better for Fugly, and Cutler going to get both of those A players as they try to push through long. More than likely looking to save, so CLG will deny any saved weapons from Vex, but the money's still good enough that they can get out a full rifle round.
Yep. So we saw last round, as a recap, CLG do a little bit of stuff at long to take some attention away, get some info, and they saw actually, Cutler saw that there was 2 people pushing him, so they assumed that mid was being played light, right? They assumed it was something like 2 long on one site, 1 mid, 1 B, and they had 2 people walk out, and then JDM rotate back to the tunnel, find a kill there, and if he's finding aggressive openings with the op, he's doing a fantastic job on T-side. It's not easy to do. People tend to have to walk into your scope, and if he can be proactive with his op in upcoming rounds, well, we might see a few more round wins, because so far we're 2 for 2.
Yeah, we haven't really seen any crazy performance from JDM so far this event. It's been mostly Fugly and Cutler doing the heavy lifting on this team, as they were looking at the stats earlier on the desk. And then, of course, Tarek had that one very good match on Overpass against SK. So, yeah, maybe it's JDM's turn to shine and bring them back with some first kills onto this T side, their first half of Dust 2. Cat control maintained here by CLG, and very often these days just given up by the defense. Although Furlan is curious. Moving in with that op. Oh, and he will miss the shot onto Tarek. Tarek finding the opener. Rallen also here with an op. Gonna get them as they start to cross. The Molotov will not be enough to stop the sight lines here from Rallen. They are gonna try to drop an attack from another way, but Rallen completely expecting it. Gets a shot onto Fugly. One more. Can he do it for the third? Seeing Hayes now crouching, hiding out behind the box. Does he have any support here? It doesn't look like it. His other man was Oskarish coming up the ramp. Groovy gonna fall as well. Now 3 versus 1 post plant CLG. Well, it was a little nerve-wracking for a moment as Rallen started hitting those op shots. But it looks like they've got it.
Yeah, whenever we see Oskarish cowering back into CT because CLG just had the triangle of doom. One on cat, one site, one long. There's pretty much no safe angle coming up from CT to defend from, or aggress from, that is. And Oskarish trying to see if he can get a free kill on someone making a mistake. It looks like not. Oskarish now is met with a double peek from Cutler and JDM, and CLG do come away with another round.
And now the money for Vexed is completely broken, so they're going to go in for the eco, and they're actually going to request a timeout as well. So, yep, taking the tactical pause. Rallen will agree to that. And let's see, I mean, kind of odd. I mean, I guess they're forced to take a save, and that's again with the thing we mentioned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Taking the save, or sorry, money's broken, and they go right into the pause instead of just maybe buying some time, stacking somewhere, hiding out, biding their time, and they can talk about it while it's live instead of using their pause this early. Because it's 1 per map, remember, guys, for the viewers at home, and both teams at this point have now used their 1 timeout.
Yeah. So
you will get more if it goes to OT, but.
Mm-hmm. So I would say Vex at this point is just of the last 2 rounds that they've lost, they have just been giving up way too many kills way too early, right? If you know JDM wants to get super aggressive with his op, they should be Vexed, expecting where he's going to go or trying to anticipate it, but you can't be dying in B site, versus an op. Like, that tunnel should be smoked most of the time, and if not, no one should be really peeking it because JDM's just roaming and looking for that frag. Like, this is like, it's like the way CLG are breaking the round down is into like 3 parts where they have, they dedicate the first 20, 30 seconds to let JDM roam and see if you can get a free pick, right? And then they move on to having to aggressively peek into an angle, maybe an op of Vex, and that's when the round gets more and more CT-sided, right? But because CLG are being afforded these like opening kills within 20, 30 seconds, like their options become wide open at that point. They're able to go up cat, 5v4. They're able to still have an op when Vex haven't. And maybe that's the key thing for them is that Vex aren't able to play aggressive enough. It seems like they're very uncomfortable just sitting around and need to peek. And maybe they need an op to supplement that kind of aggression.
Yeah, well, they were aggressive initially, right?
Yeah.
As they shut down that anti-eco, then into the first rifle, they were very aggressive. That's actually the one that they lost, and then they kind of started sitting a bit more passive in the sights. And it took they won a couple rounds, but then CLG has adapted to that now.
Yeah.
And they've been able to find these openings. They've always been granted this cat control in the last few rounds, upper tunnels. Cutler, even at long, has been able to distract them or even scout some info. Like that one round he sees 2 there, they expect light mid presence and then immediately find a pick in the tunnels and split it.
So their CT setups might not be as they might not have a playbook as deep as, for example, Liquid. Their CT setups when I was watching them play Dust 2 yesterday. When we see them play Dust 2 twice, they have a multitude of CT setups. A lot of them are very static in the sense that like you have like 2 players semi-aggressive on cat, but ready to trade and waiting for someone to peek into you. And it seems like Vex don't have that. It's more very standard. Back on cat. Let me take this peek. This dry peek, and that's how you get opt. You don't have any like trap set for the opper, and I think that that's what CLG is exploiting at the moment.
All right. Well, I was actually going to look at what sides these teams might favor, looking at some of the data, but it doesn't really seem that clear cut. Vex have a pretty even T and CT side, and well, CLG actually looking like their terrorist side is going to be the stronger one. So it is good for them that they're making that comeback. Clearly, they've got Vexed. They're shook a little bit as they still have the lead, but have gone into this pause. We'll see what adjustments they can make. 2 more minutes remaining on the pauses. They can last up to 5 minutes, and we've actually seen generally people will take their 1 pause, use about 30 seconds of it.
Yeah.
But those are in smaller lands, and I guess even the minor qualifiers were actually a pretty big deal. Mm-hmm. But now the pressure's got to really feel on. You're trying to make it to the first $1 million major.
Yeah.
It's going to be in North America, the first one here. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. Vex, I feel like if an upset is bound to happen or could happen, it'd start off the back of Vex getting a lot of the early rounds and the pistols, right? So a lot of things have been going right for them so far, but CLG slowly clawing we're back into this, might be able to get a 4th round on the save that they're about to have to go up against, and I think Vexed are taking note of that, taking heed, right? Don't want to see these 6 rounds get too comfortable because they don't have any reason to.
Yeah, that's true. If you actually take away the pistols, it is 3-3 when it comes down to the meat and potatoes of Counter-Strike, which are those rifle rounds. So
well said.
Pretty even affair thus far. 30 seconds remaining in this timeout. Vexed taking a long time to discuss this, and actually everyone is performing pretty well. No one's pulling away. No one's had a crazy start.
I've seen some whiffs on the sides of both teams.
Yeah. That spray down in CT spawn was a bit.
Yeah, Fugly and I think Fugly and Repo maybe.
Yeah.
Fugly, Repo. We saw JDM whiff.
Saw Cutler miss that, even though Cutler's not the opper. He has the spawn. He misses that one, which is a pretty, that's a shot everyone's gonna hit pretty regularly.
So.
And we're back into it. 5 seconds left in freeze time as we go into round 10. Remember, Vex Gaming, they are on a full eco, just one P250. Not even going to spend another $200 for a flash. They really don't even have the cash there. Surprised they went for the P250 even. And meanwhile, CLG just going to spread out, play this one very safe.
Yep. Here we have a cat stack with everyone playing a little bit farther back. And from their positions right now, we have 2 people that can play no flash, which is super beneficial because pop flashes on cat are more than just standard. And whoa. What? Oh, Tarek just tried to lurk out versus the eco with that rifle.
He tossed the smoke that can set up some one-way angles from the terrace perspective out of the B tunnels, and I think that's dangerous. That's playing with fire against an eco where you expect some really weird close angles. People might want to push or even stand in smokes. And, well, it could cost them because, okay, Oscarish, the AK is taken away from him. Now it'll go over to Groovy, though. So still Vex Gaming armed and dangerous and in a position where they invested no money into this round and they're going to come out of it with $6,100 in the form of those 2 AKs and a smoke.
Yeah, scouting is okay. Like, scouting is great actually. But I mean, they know it's an eco, and
that's an ang.
Yeah. I'm not sure. It seemed a little bit too risky for Tarek to be like. I guess he was trying to do it one way. Probably wouldn't have committed to the site in the first place. So maybe it's not that much worth mentioning, but they did find the place to go, and that was long. And then they had Fugly at top mid, who got taken down in a battle that he probably should have won, but got a kill for it. They keep 3 alive. That's probably best case scenario post that scenario.
Will they try to chase for the kills? It doesn't look like they're going to. Both teams on either side of that longhouse, no one wanting to push through and engage. Of course, the CTs don't want to. They're super happy to come out of that with a free $6,000, more or less. So full buy coming out now for Vexed and armed with 2 very dangerous AKs, but they will actually be without the op this time.
Yeah, they don't have the adjustment, the op adjustment, and they haven't been able to kind of change up the way that they've been playing CT. At least in the last few rounds, it's still early, relatively early into the half, I suppose. But JDM looking for his kills, and I really just want to keep an eye on him because he's been able to open up rounds so often, and I've kind of been missing the magic. Somehow, for some reason, has the bomb in spawn.
Yeah, a little bit odd there as kills coming at middle. That'll be Fugly to bring down Rollin. JDM actually with 2 first kills right now for CLG. Here's Tarek opening him up B site a little bit more. He'll bring down Oscarish. Man at the doors. That's Groovy watching the cross. And he is prepared for them to cross on the platform. That smoke goes down a millisecond too late as Tarek was spotted, and Groovy able to put 2 and 2 together. Molotov up to the window, make that plant a bit safer. Even still fake planting it, expecting some crazy antics. They're pushing through the smoke and the fire. Fugly on the lurk here in lower B. They'll take down Groovy, and that kill there pretty much securing the round for CLG. Yeah, should be 5-6.
Yeah, a few things are more stressful than having to retake B. So sometimes if it's 3v3, having one player plant the bomb renders him completely useless for the few seconds that he has to plant. And so sometimes if everybody's stationed outside the site, that is the CTs on the retake, if they hear the bomb going down, then they all explode on the site. It'd be the same if they did it, after the bomb was down, except this time they have the advantage of knowing that only 2 players can shoot at them. And they also can hear where the bomb is being planted. So No sense planning too early, especially when you have the site in so much control. And we saw Tarek use that smoke again and get a kill with it. Surprisingly enough, 2 rounds in a row, but then this time just completely got away with it on his one-way.
Yeah, which is surprising because, I mean, at many levels of Counter-Strike, you see that smoke if the other team has thrown it, which is generally a position that's so much of a disadvantage to the terrorists. Like,
And it might work on both sides. So like maybe we had, you know, one side being spotted, and again, it's a one-way, so it's going to give Tarek an advantage no matter what.
yeah.
At least
well,
an
I'm
extra
just trying to
second
say
shoot at
everyone
him.
knows what that smoke is capable of, and you can just even spam it and try to
Right.
find that kill. And here's JDM going down into the dark spot, trying to shut down Vex Gaming as just armed with pistols. Actually, even Furlan went in for the Deagle armor. That could have been an expensive buy for him. Maybe he just had some more money. But 5-on-2 as CLG surviving this and able to tie it up, winning now the bulk of the rifle rounds. So turning everything around after what was a pretty tough start. They were down 5-1.
Yeah, I think they still need to make it a 9-6, otherwise they won't feel too good about it. I feel like after the last few rounds, they realized they had given up the first ones a little bit too easily. Especially considering they've got another map to look forward to. Like, this is the time where they should be playing the best in their lives. And, you know, no offense to Vex, they played extremely well versus SK, but had a very lackluster performance versus Splice, you know, getting completely dominated.
Yeah, it was 16-7, I believe,
Yeah.
on Mirage, too. Well, not Mirage 2, but get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the foreshadowing is real.
Yeah, looking forward to it still. As JDM, he is not one to actually take that first attempt at a shot, always expecting an Opera trying to bait him out. This time he would expect Rollin to have one, and he does. No one tries to slip into lower B either, so it will remain a 5-on-5 as Bomb is down. 2 players actually for CLG watching long push. That'll be JDM and Cutler. Hazed is up on Cat with that control there. Fugly eyes on mid, and Tarek waiting for anyone to try to make a play perhaps. Vex Gaming push through B tunnels. Tarek's got it covered.
Yeah, so at the moment, if you look at how the CTs are set up, there's no way on Dust 2 to just be safe in every spot. Like, there are some maps where you can just play 2-3, be completely safe, but not Dust 2. You either your mid is weak or your Cat is weak. And right now we see that mid to B is pretty much wide open. With that mid to B smoke, Rowland is completely useless. His job was to spot mid, and they have 2 players inside of B that kind of have to deal with the split. But it looks like it's more of a fake, and Rowland actually goes down, has the op, a super important position that he was playing. And Repo comes out with a spray and tries to kill Fugly along with Hayes, but can only get one of them. And now just 2 players remain. Furlan won't take a fight, ideally, for CLG. I mean, they can just plant, avoid him. He does get away with that kill on Cutler. Somehow Cutler missing that shot, or missing a few bullets of that spray.
Yeah, surprising. I mean, Furlan, though, still skilled player, has actually been one of the better performers here for Vex, and even finding another frag here. And actually, does that give them a possibility to still win this?
It
They
does.
have a kit. There's still a little bit of time to work with. Oskarish moving up on the catwalk. He's actually found both of these players. Oh no, fuck, he just gets them both! They try to help each other out. Teamwork, maybe better off just sitting in the corner and hiding, but that's such a hard call to make in the moment, and they both get sprayed down.
I'm gonna say Cutler made a little bit of a misplay there because they killed 2 at A, so the thing is that they weren't playing Cat aggressively, so they're almost certain that someone's at long. Like, Cutler walks out looking for Pit, and you know, one thing is that he missed the shot, but his job wasn't even to go out and kill Pit, it was to simply hold Furlan in Pit, where he's useless. Furlan also knows that most teams on a like a 4-1, if that's what he's assuming they're doing, which would be safe to assume, that Cutler wouldn't be would just be holding his rotate. And basically, you have no play there if your Cat guys die. So it was Cutler's trade to lose, and I don't think he really needs to take the fight at all, even though he missed and should have got the kill.
All right, well, losing that last round, and Tarek starting off this one, getting dinked down to 15 HP. The pressure's got to be mounting for CLG as they are on a side that they actually favor for Dust 2. Got that cat control as usual. Bomb there as well, so it looks like they'll be trying to go for a pretty heavy split. Maybe leave JDM on the op lurk. Let's see. One will drop off. Fugly goes right down, kills Repo. Furlan trades it instantly. Also playing here in CT, they've given up that long contest. Furlan gonna find 2, looking for some more. Does he actually manage to get a third there? Yes, he did. He got the triple kill. Smoke gonna go down now. 2 versus 2. A lot of utility here for CLG, something they can certainly work with.
A little bit indecisive. Want to know exactly where Vexed are trying to push from. Ironically, with that fake up cat, fell right into the lap of Vexed, who we're hoping that it was going to be mid to B. Had Ralin on A site alone with the op in a position where he could have got mollied out. So I think CLG are lucky to have 2 players alive at this moment. And now the walk into B, JDM. Will he be cognizant of this angle? That is such a good one to hold from sight, and it looks like, oh, he does find the frag after turning away. My goodness.
That is the round for Oskarish. He's got to feel terrible about that. But look at Roland there with the P250. Spots this man, won't let him off the back of the site. Both of them pull out nades for a second. Roland now going to go back to the P250 close range. You got that one-shot potential on it. Molotov, that's going to section Cutler off. He doesn't have many options now. The op comes out once more. Roland going to even reload back to those 13 bullets. Will that be his lucky number?
Ooh, and looking to go over top. So hard to tell. What a P250 shot. Well played in that 1v1, or 1v2. Extremely well played. JDM finding that entry made it seem like the round was just about over, but since Rowling was so quick on the rotate and had the ability to get that 1 kill and also get a lot of info on the bomb, coming up with that P250, he looked like he had a chance. I mean, he was really working that box pretty well. I mean, you know, Cutler just looking to do as much damage as possible. But good peeks, good play. And I like that Molotov, too, just to get you off kilter. Ooh, and Rowland comes into this round with a kill on JDM. First duel, I think, won versus JDM.
Yeah, it's actually one of the first mid-duels we've even really seen. And, well, Tarek's able to get 1 kill, but Fugly's burnt alive. Hayes going to get killed by Repo. Tarek now flashed and put into the back of the site. Oskarish won't check that, but it doesn't really matter. His teammate's there to trade it out. Now Cutler with an op, 1 versus 3. And everything fell apart here at the end of this first half for CLG. Unless Cutler can really pull off the heroics, and no, he cannot. It's Vexed Gaming winning the half 9-6. Your top fragger being Furlan with 15 for Vexed Gaming.
Yeah, and they do come away with a 9-6, where it seemed like CLG were on track to get a 9-6 for themselves, but Vex brought it back, and I think it was the power of the pause.
Yeah, both times.
Power of the pause never fails. Each team who have paused have proceeded to win at least 3 rounds in a row. In CLG's
CLG
case,
got
6.
5.
Oh, 5? Yeah, 5. Yeah, and then that's super interesting. So there's a lot to be said about like the strategic, analytic discussion about what's going on in the game, and if you really have time to rack your brain, how much you can actually get out of it moving forward. It seems, honestly, to work without fail. Power of the pause. It's a hashtag.
There you go. Yeah, the game could get very stressful. I mean, only pretty much 15 seconds, maybe some time if any saving weapons or post plants. The bomb timer can obviously extend the discussion if you've got yourself in a very good position to close out a round. You can talk more about the next one in advance, but there's not a lot of time really to make those adjustments on the fly. Yep. And I really like the addition of the pause here to Counter-Strike. It's given us some fantastic moments in the tournaments that it's been involved in, which is why the power of the pause is something that we talk about. But now we turn things around, CLG to be on the CT side, Vexed Gaming over to the T side. Obviously, a lot comes down to the pistol whenever you go into the second half, and whoever can get that op out might make the difference. Could be JDM pulling off the heroics, or just Rollin shutting everything down here on Dust 2.
Yeah. Some of the scores have been lopsided in this tournament. We've seen like whoever's won the second pistol has like typically been able to close out the map because of the lead they got because of it. And yeah, there's no doubting that there's power in the pistol as well, because actually, I mean, there have been ecos, but they've actually been like, we've seen a couple of full ecos as opposed to like second round ecos that you might be used to seeing. I think the only second round eco I can recall right now was the 1 versus C9 on Cash. And 4 players out towards tunnel. One that's Rowling out at long, getting a lot of info. He's going to hear this mid push as well, so he can alert his teammates to it. This knowledge, and Tarek holding a sliver of an angle. I think he might have spotted an arm there. He's going to look for the peak, does find the headshot right away, and that is a big win for CLG.
Yeah, and as Tarek lands that headshot, the smoke goes down, now blocking off these players. Actually, they might have thrown that one themselves to try to set up a one-way, or Hayes missed it a little bit. I don't know. Cutler gets 2 quick headshots from the window. Hayes on the back of platform. He will fall. 4 on 2. Vexed Gaming maybe still with an opportunity to get this bomb down. They're trying to take some fights, thin out the numbers, but there's the bomb going down. Cutler going to move in, and he grabs a 4K. Didn't have the first half he wanted with only 5 kills, but jumps into the pistol in the second half. 4 more.
Yeah, not all kills are made equal.
No, they're not.
We both know that, and pistol kills are especially weighted, in our opinion. And that CLG, to win a pistol, that could potentially help them even out here. But not only that, super aggressive, super nice shooting from Cutler. The first two, like, through the smoke or over the smoke or something on Vexed entering tunnels, but Tarek had a key moment in that round getting that first kill as well.
Tarek off at the catwalk using a FAMAS. That made me very, very nervous. And then, okay, only a few bullets left. He'll be able to take down Repo 5-2, and Vexed Gaming find no luck there on their exactly how much money did they really spend. Most of it. So, yeah, they do force buy. Although Rollin saving quite a bit. Just buying a Deagle, no armor.
Yeah, typically your opera just doesn't have the luxury to join in on the fun and armor up on second round. Can kind of suck not being able to buy, but
Look at Fugly's. I never noticed that. Fugly's P90 name. Can we switch to Fugly? It's pretty funny.
Lana Del Spray. That's funny.
All right, Grubby is able to bring down a JDM. That'll give himself an MP9. Still contending with a couple other submachine guns and rifles for CLG. 50 seconds to go. Tarek on CT ramp, getting them as they cross, hitting those hard shots with the FAMAS. All right, started it off a little bit shaky with his first kill with the FAMAS. The next 3 are pretty clean. A 4K for Tarek on the Eco Cobra. So Vexed Gaming, their lead shrunk to 1 round, and very, very likely that CLG tied up here.
Yeah, sometimes it affects your decision if you want to spend that money. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, second round buys haven't been as effective as maybe they once were. Maybe just at this tournament. It's hard to say. I mean, you have some success winning that second round buy. You're more keen on doing it again. It's also way more fun to buy up every round as opposed to save. But in the situation where you have a lead and you decide to buy, well, you also hurt your chances of winning on your buy up after you save. So it doesn't come with no cost.
Well, Tarek in the same spot from last round, this time with a better gun. He gets nothing done. He goes down to a Glock. And the bomb being planted as well. So a lot of money now going to be put into that T-side economy.
But the T's quickly melting, trying to aggress and get some map control, look for kills. I mean, I think they knew that once Cat was lost, they just had no opportunity to really win that round. And see LG come up with a quick cleanup. Cutler, another 3 kills on the round. And I think, yeah, started from the bottom.
Now they're here.
This is the story of Cutler's frags.
He's joined the rest of the crew at the top, yes. And actually, everything's pretty evened out there for CLG. And something to kind of note about this game, like you have all the stars actually that you would maybe call out for these teams performing quite well. Tarek, JDM, Cutler, or Fugly, I guess we'll put in there. And then you have Rowland and Furlan doing their work, each with 15 kills apiece on the side of Vexed Gaming. So this could be an exciting one that could go the distance. Dust 2 has certainly given us some great matches here at this event.
Whoa, just like the second round, we have Fugly pushing up top mid with Tarek. They both go down, and that is a huge win for Vex in a situation where they're going into the first pistol. They come away with 3 kills. This is looking like the round that CLG stole from them in the first half, their first rifle round. That leaves Hazed and JDM alone. I mean, they're in spots that are like pretty good to get more than 1 kill, potentially, but at the same time, there's, it'd be a 2v5 situation, and they're spread apart, so if one of them goes down, there's no way that the other can retake.
Yeah, so looking at a situation where it's the exact same way the first half went, 3 rounds in a row for the CTs, and then the terrorists strike back in the first rifle round, and unless JDM and Hayes can do something crazy, Hayes at the door, he's already got 1 kill this round. How many more can he find? He's trying to spray down the cross. No one was there, and as he reloads, the bomb just crossing. Oscarish alone on the site, but CLG not knowing this and not taking advantage of it, just very, very patient, and might even take this decision to go ahead and save.
Yeah, it'd probably be a good one. I feel like it might be different if it was the case that Hayes got that second kill on Groovy, and maybe if he decided to re-peek. I don't think he realized how effective his flash was, but try to be a good teammate there, wait for his teammate, and play the retake, which can be harder. It takes a little bit more discipline, but if you have trust in each other and you're a good team, that's what separates you from a pug. And I think you know, with the op, it only makes the retake a little bit more difficult. So running back to the save seems like the most responsible thing to do. And yeah, that's just mirroring the first half, as you mentioned.
We'll see how long that trend continues. Vexed Gaming now back in the lead, and not a moment too soon. It can get really, really rough. You fall behind because of the pistol, or it gets tied up, then you lose the first rifle. It's a very slippery slope, and one that they will avoid. And Rollin able to get the op out now.
One difference for CLG is because of that, because they did save 2 and that op, they're going to have another buyout. I don't think we saw a buy from Vex after that one because of the economic damage that was done. Might have to double check, but just some standard default here. Furlan throwing a little bit of a, trying to throw a little bit of attention over towards long, while actually most players are staged up in tunnels, but little do they know that there's a stack on Cat waiting for the lower push, and a shot is being taken after a wide peek is made, and no one dies. Everyone lives.
Yeah, Tarek and JDM, you know, group up there on catwalk. They do the boost up the stairs to look into lower B, an angle that, you know, all it is, no one's going to really expect it the first time they see it. You just got to hit the shot, but JDM will miss. Can't find the opener. And now this mid to B split's coming in. They're taking up a lot of space. They're getting into that bomb site. This is dangerous now for CLG. Repo actually finding 2 kills. That'll be what opens it up. It's Furlan who died. And now CLG, tough decision to make. A couple flashes, and they've got Kit, so they can, you know, work a little bit. Maybe they can get a kill, even it up 3-3, then decide to go for it. But if one of them die, they'll have to back off again.
Yeah, I mean,
and there it is. Fugly goes down, so you know that CLG are just going to retreat out of here.
Tarek immediately turns around. Knows exactly what's up in that situation, and shout out to Vex because that was a really, really nice decision to go mid to B. After they saw that there was a cat stack right there, they see a golden opportunity as someone's most likely spotting long to try to hit B, and if the cat stack works out, they get a kill, then suddenly plans have changed. Even with that info, wow, Rowlin just gets that headshot through the wall on Tarek, and that's actually, those are a couple of huge exit frags. Typically feel comfortable talking over those, but in some circumstances can make a huge difference. Yeah.
Generally, it's like, oh, kills after the round, not impactful, but those are extremely impactful. CLG might have been able to squeak out another round with a couple rifles, pistol armor, and utility, and they'd still be armed and dangerous at that point. And also that last kill onto Tarek was ridiculous. I was actually looking down at him when that happened, and both hands were off the keyboard, off the mouse. He was in disbelief that that even landed. And now they're broken here.
Yeah, they're broken. And again, Vex on T side, or something to be fearful of. Like Polish teams on T side, you know, Virtus Pro on T side, Virtus Pro on Train is something to be scared of. And any map that I think it gives you all these T advantages can be even worse. And again, it's going to come down to CLG not playing scared. Number 2, I mean, it seems like they aren't playing scared, but number 2 hitting shots and making sure that they're able to make decisions really quickly, because Vex are going to make rotates extremely fast. I'm sure we'll see a lot more snap decisions to come. Like that quick decision to go mid to B off that info on Cat.
And remember, both teams took pauses early on in the first half. So as CLG starts to trail behind now, they have nothing like that. They can't really get the hard reset. And they're also on the CT side, so it will be a little more difficult for them to just, you know, maybe take a round extremely slow and talk things over, because they're going to be the ones getting pressured by Vexed.
Yeah, I mean, I think continue for the aggression, because they're going to see Vex be also aggressive, and like if you have the op and you have like a good boost to go off of a really nice long spawn or something, like take that pick every time, and then force the Vex to slow down, and then you can make them play your game. But as it stands, like Vex are doing a really good job of being explosive and finding opportunities as CLG, you know, miss openings that are really setup dependent.
Hazed, fortunate no one actually pushed the smoke he just threw. Vex had a pop flash that went out. Hazed was so blind, he was actually stuck on the double stack, the front side of it, completely exposed to tunnels. If anyone pushed out, he was dead, and he was alone at the B site at that point. Now Cutler, though, will rotate up mid and help out, spotting that from the double doors. As Repo for Vexed Gaming going to maintain that upper tunnel control, and Furlan and Rowland looking to move up Cat. Bomb still way down in the back, though. So they're going to be playing it slow.
Yep. Tarek sitting in CT is in a more mobile position, is not static, boosted on the box. He's actually closer to Cat than anything else, and I think wants to spot for info. Could be the target of an op, depending on how someone might clear this angle, but I'm sure it seems like he's very confident sitting in this one location that it is an off angle. And Fugly is going to meet the first aggressors here at long.
It's all going to be about Vex Gaming's ability to trade. Although Fugly, as he throws this, now they 100% know he's here. He's actually got himself in a bit of a pickle. He throws out one flash. It's not that effective. Still able to get the kill onto a player who wasn't blind. And Tarek taking the fight from the corner. He's able to get one. JDM dies and Fugly in the pit will burn alive. Actually, no, sorry. Tarek got his kill over at middle. It was JDM that was helping and supporting on the corner of long. 3 plays 3 right now as Vex Gaming about to get the bomb down, planning safe here for long.
Yeah, site holds have been weak. Tarek actually jumping backwards off of Cat to avoid that flash.
This man's a gymnast.
Oh, sees the op on site, is going to try to do some damage with that M4, and for some reason Oscar is trying to cross back through a smoke that was halfway dissipated, and Tarek, all 3 kills on the retake. Huge play from him.
All right, well, there you go. Vex Gaming maybe starting to crack under pressure because that seemed like a pretty sloppy round played in the post plant.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes sense that the man on site went down. He's being pressured from Cat. Tarek dropped and has given him the jumping M4A4, which is actually really scary.
I mean, Oscarish's job was to kill Tarek, basically. And instead, he went to assist somebody who doesn't even have...
Doesn't need help.
...the ability to play clutch in the first place.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's, Rowland's the first person to die. Oscarish could just play it long and support the person who can actually win the round because of his position. I mean, it was planned for long plat. And then they don't, I don't know, crossing late in post plant you don't have the option to cross late most of the time, and we just saw why.
Yeah, as a friend of mine always said when we play video games, don't save the dead. That man on site was dead, and Oscarish made a mistake trying to go back for him.
Yeah, not sure. And that's like the indecisiveness shows, right? Because he was in a position where he could have been originally, instead try to go back to it. So indecisiveness got him killed. Something we didn't see out of Repo, a very decisive player who takes a lot of opportunities that require a moment's notice to capitalize on.
Yeah, he had some very manly plays on that train match that we saw on that inner side, playing it solo, and kind of the reason why they were able to win it. Here is Hazed in B, supported by Cutler. Tarek, CT spawn, he's dropped down. And both JD and Fugly are actually over at long A, seeing that there's not really anything going on here. How long will Fugly wait before he pushes through? They did just smoke the doors, so it'll be a while. And 50 seconds on the clock for Vex Gaming.
Oh, the standard 2-3. Actually, no, we got one on CT. That's Tarek. He's playing as a rotator, and it's good to keep him in a mobile spot. He's going to be one of the heaviest fraggers, and also one of the more impatient players who needs to move around. And there's Hayes with the op in B, supported by Cutler, who gets the second 2 kills, and that is the mid-B split shutdown. The bomb has been taken control of. Groovy, with full nades, has 20 seconds, and a shot to the face.
Yeah, hate to see it. Tarek gets in there with the first shot, but you got an M4A4. What are you going to do? Groovy will get one more kill. Maybe live to fight another day.
Yeah, it's interesting how the AK costs less, does more damage, but yet maps are still really CT-sided.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if that wasn't the case, how CT-sided they would be.
Yeah.
So there you go. CLG getting back into it now within 1 round here on map 1. That was 3 in a row for Vex. Now CLG have got 2 of their own. They've Vexed back to rifle rounds.
Yep. And
Furlan pretty poor. Actually, never mind. He was dropped. Don't forget to buy armor, Furlan.
Within one of tying up, actually Hayes, being the secondary opper, which I think is what Tarek's original job title was when he came on the team. But I guess because of Hayes' spot, it makes more sense to keep the op station here. Now they've got both sides of the map cut off. They can rotate heavily, that is the rifles, anywhere they want, which is important on Dust 2. And was that a kill off a peak?
No, that was actually just a battle over there at the longhouse. Fugly even saw the shadow of the man coming in first. Well, I guess depending on his settings. But that's one you should definitely keep turned on. And then just loses the aim duel straight up. Oscarish comes in with the AK, and a bullet happens to hit Fugly in the face.
So to be honest, this doesn't actually change the round that much because of the ops. I mean, typically 5v4 is a big advantage, but in this situation, no, it's Rowland to have an op of his own. Hayes to gets a kill, and that's an opening right there. Cutler, once again, a really great spot to play with Hayes. We saw him defend tunnels in this spot, and now is looking for a trade frag. Doesn't find a second, however, and that might be a huge reason they lose. There is Tarek, though, pushing out of the doors and spotting one person out of the site. Will he do enough damage to kill him? Yeah, he does, and he leaves JDM in a 1v1 versus Repo. The bomb is down. Repo most likely has an idea of where he's rotating from, and it doesn't look like he's looking in the correct spot at the moment. surprisingly enough, Repo walks right into him. And JDM's been playing chess while all y'all been playing checkers.
Exactly, man. Yeah, trying to make the unpredictable play and push through that smoke. Maybe JDM, he's got to expect it's JDM. The man's opping. He's looking at a smoke. He doesn't want to just sit there and wait, but that's exactly what he does. He's been studying up chess, apparently. Has the pistol out as well and just gets that one tap on a very unsuspecting victim. 12-12 now. CLG, streak of 3 rounds for themselves.
Yeah, just a highlight though. Hayes and Cutler working really well together. That teamwork is
Making the dream work?
making the dream work, yeah.
All right, Cutler. I hear actually Vexed calling out for some flashes here, but they don't even put any down. It was just the, okay, there's one coming over the wall. That's Cutler back here in the closet, gonna get 2. Now Hayes making his presence felt from the back of the site. Both of these guys just getting multiple multi-kill rounds from the B site.
I wonder if these guys are on the same cycle too.
As all right, money back for Vex, so able to get out to another full rifle. That last one, not too much on it. A couple upgraded pistols, smokes and flashes to make some space, but unable to do anything with it.
The money is so good right now for CLG. Everyone's paid up in full, and they have a round lead. Vexed haven't had a round lead since the previous round, wherein we did see a 1v1. And they're going to be buy safe if they don't win this one. So it's going to get ugly. I think this one could potentially cost 2, which means match point for CLG, making this a really, really important round.
Most important round of the match so far. If CLG get it, they more than likely close it out here on Dust 2, which would mean winning the map that your opponent picked. And that's always got to be a good feeling to start things off. Vex Gaming playing this one very slow. Bomb started to make its way up a Cat, and it's always going to be Furlan there, maintaining that early Cat control. Groovy is seen crossing from lower B over to that Xbox.
JDM smoking off middle. This is the one time JDM's actually played mid with the op, which is a new adjustment. He's actually falling off the game helper, and this leaves mid to B open once again. But the thing is that Vex have had no luck going mid to B, and Tarek and Cutler have been so proficient in terms of trading out in a situation where there's a split towards them. So playing 3A in this setting seems to make a lot of sense, and we see Vex looking to do a Cat split right now, maybe running into the stack here.
Well, Vex Gaming, though, they do have the numbers at long. Actually, in both senses, right? They've got 3 fighting 2 at long and 2 fighting 1 on Cat. The rotations are coming quickly, but Grubby and Repo just storm their way out of long. Now JDM exposed from long, goes down for a free. Repo with 2 big kills. Hayes missing what was maybe an easy frag and one that would have evened it up. Now the bomber going to go in, and oh, there's Groovy. Hayes trying to get jump 1 digs. How lucky does he think he is? Cutler flashed and smoked off at the catwalk, and he'll run for the hills.
Hayes completely forgetting there that 2 of his teammates just died at long.
Yeah, remember we lost long control?
Yeah, like 10 seconds ago. But again, 2v3. It was mostly a failure of their players at long because they had that stack. They had Cutler. They had Cutler who was his attention was only occupied by 1 player crossing Cat, and then 3 players coming out long. They had a crossfire from Blue Bin and Pit or wherever. That's a free win on long control. You typically don't expect to.
I'm pretty sure it was Blue Bin and the wall.
Blue Bin and the wall, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, like a huge advantage. Oh, sometimes you get in Blue Bin and then, I don't know, you peek for information. The thing is about playing dedicated long is like, if a team goes late long, then you profit. But if not, then you're really, really far from the other site, right? And you're also not in the best after plant spot for A. You're in one of the after plant spots for A, it's not so bad. Cat would be better because of how close you are. So many more opportunities from there. But yeah, CLG losing a very important round. And I think it came down to trades.
Yeah, still though, the money was good enough to get out another round, and Hayes will start him off with the first kill. That's going to be on to Groovy. Furlan moving out and getting actually pressured at middle. He'll fall. Hayes can't quite reload in time, but still 4 on 2. CLG looking good going into this round. Smoked across for Rallin, but they're very, very conscious that people are going to be coming here on the flank. Because that smoke is just rolling on the ground. It's not actually going to pop. And into the tunnels they go. Oscarish trying to trade out, but
Rallin not helping him at all. Just kind of let him go in for the kill. Does get 1, but now it's 1v3. Vex somehow falling apart, and it didn't seem like CLG were doing anything too aggressive. It was actually they were running out cat. Excuse me.
Yeah, this round was a bit more aggressive from them.
Yeah. Woo! The energy and excitement from CLG as they take a 14th round and potentially match point, as Vex have to make a very, very serious decision right now. They're close to being able to win the first map, but they don't have enough money for everyone to get a full buy. And in this situation, could just play for the tie, would only have to win 2 rounds in a row, have a much better chance to do if they save, and that will be the decision. So CLG more than likely going to get it on match point off of this round.
That decision is a little easier to make when it's this close. You want to go ahead and take that eco and stay in it and just play for the tie because you're confident in your rifles. This game has been quite close. They think they can get it done. But CLG is certainly going to get out onto match point, and that nade is going to hurt, landing right on the face of Repo. And then Tarek just going to spray the rest of them down. Well, only 2 more, but that's a 4K for Tarek. That was actually on for the ace here against the ecoed up Vexed Gaming. Oscar is trying to fall back, but Hayes and Cutler are both waiting there with open arms.
Yeah. Not so friendly, however. And Vex now, after that save, have a pretty good buy. They do have an op. Does Rowland have armor? No. So he's going glass cannon. So even though they did save, they don't have the best of buys. I think we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, did Rowland do damage? No, he didn't.
No.
But JDM there will be there to challenge, and I'm not sure if he shot or not.
Yeah, I couldn't tell either, but either way, heard another one and gave up the angle. It's so, I mean, because the nade smoke was there, right? I would never chance a round around a dissipating smoke or a nade smoke early on at middle in a game like this. So I think he might have just been like, wait a minute, I'm going to back off. This round's vitally important.
Definitely. Yeah, the response from the CTs right now, we have Fugly holding down long by himself. Very standard default. JDM back at car. This is the round that you play most of the time on CT of Dust 2. Cutler jump spotting the door, so in case there's going to be a B split. He's gonna smoke off one of the choke points from mid. Then they can focus window, and maybe he can focus on tunnel. Vex to have to make a move because there's going to be no aggressive openings or free openings that they can get from CLG at the moment. And what's going to be key right now is because we have no one outside long, is does Fudley make the decision to push, and will he make it at the right moment? And if not, is he going to be on the rotate in a situation where they have the man disadvantage? But let's say he push long right now, that's pretty much a round win.
Oh, the smoke does. The smoke and the Molotovs do go down, so this is telegraphed. The rotations can start early, and Cutler and Hayes have been so good at getting the kills, winning the rounds, and can they buy time on this one? Cutler gets 1, Hayes gets 2, actually, and able to fall out of the outside of the site. 4-on-2 advantage here. It's match point for CLG. It will come down to a B retake, but they've got a big advantage right now.
Yeah, huge advantage. I mean, they have to wait here. They've got Fugly on a big rotate. 2 people in the site. That's Rowland and Repo, backside under window. Very, very strong positions. Rowland has the op as well, but no one is watching his tunnel, and so Fugly comes in here. They could create a wave. JDM has a Molotov to work with, and they're pushing in. No. Repo now left in a 1v4 situation. Has to get the spray down, but can't do it. JDM gets the kill. CLG take the map after a fantastic comeback from 1 to 5.
That one's going on the front page.
Was there a zoom?
Tarek and Cutler, one goes for a high five, the other's got a fist ready, and then they try to switch it to high fives and they miss, but hey, they won, and that's all that matters. Map 1, Dust 2 goes to CLG. And very, very well played. Cutler, not a great T side. He had 5 kills coming out of the first half, so that's 5 in 15 rounds. Immediately starts off the pistol in the second half with the big 4 kills.
Yeah.
And then he didn't slow down from there. He kept getting kills. Cutler and Hayes actually great performance overall. He was getting a ton of entries on the T side, and then he was very much a part of that B hold that was locking it down and shutting down Vex. They were perplexed.
I gotta agree with you about that with Hayes. And I think Cutler and Hayes in tandem were the 2 players to watch there in terms of teamwork. They stood out. They shone. They held all their rounds. They did what they needed to do. When one person couldn't pick up the slack, the other one did, and they played outstanding on that mid to B. Just locked it down almost every single round.
Yeah, that's usually a lot of the CT weakness, right? You're always so spread out. You get those players isolated in B, and they weren't even playing very aggressive mid positions. It was always Cutler spotting from the door, and then you could have that rotation. A lot of times JDM was jumping down, or JDM was playing in CT spawn, and Vex not able to deal with it. We'll see what the desk has to say, though. Guys, take it away.
What is that?
What is that? I don't know. Absolutely, mate. I love that stuff. I can't wait. Gonna move out here, convert, can't wait.
Convert. It's not like his language. It's just a country, mate.
You know, some of the terminology might be a little bit off, but I think I'll get there. But anyway, God bless America.
I had a few jokes I thought about there, but
I would.
Jesus.
Yeah. Perhaps we'll get to an
Quite the opposite, in fact, Moses. Quite the opposite.
I haven't dealt enough with you all this weekend. I mean, there were some dodgy things.
Right, so anyway, CLG.
CLG.
You can say God bless America. You can't say God bless CLG at the moment. They made hard work of that. And, you know, they're all hyped and pumped up and shouting at each other. It was anything but a convincing performance.
Oh, yeah, God, no. Still very, very sloppy in a lot of regards, especially how that defense was not... Some of the decisions they made didn't really impress me. I didn't like the aggression in the first gun round. I thought their mid to B defense was very, very weak. The decisions that made by the B players playing both in the site and, you know, not choosing one side to eliminate. You know, when you have that pressure coming in from both angles, you know, generally the defense nowadays is you either pick calls and you get aggressive on it or you get aggressive out mid, but you do it with both players, and they still try to do that kind of old school one-watch window, one-watch tunnels, and just get plummeted. So, yeah, I mean, win's a win. They're up 1-0, but well, yeah, it looks really sketchy.
I mean, sometimes you have to win ugly. This was a big turning point in the game. This is the replay we've picked out for you, brought to you by the Score Esports. And you can see this was the turning point. Vexed in charge, 12-11. And Tarek, who once again on that CT side was doing well. I mean, made a bit of hard work of that frag, sure, but posted some good numbers. Came down to this 1v1.
I'm just going to say, production, if Vexed win the next map, you have to put a Polish flag across the screen. Yeah, that's my request. I'm specifically requesting that.
JDM played that smart.
Oh, there's Homer Simpson. He seems to be pretty into the game.
He's having a good time. But yeah, so I mean, Vexed got off to a good start, Duncan. Why weren't they able to capitalise on that?
Not enough rounds. Nah, obviously, they were doing all right. Actually, I thought that they actually surprised me with how much kind of like how much fight was in them and how well they were doing early on in the game. Because, like I say, in terms of firepower, on paper, I have to give a lot of the edge to CLG, but I have to say, from all the games we've seen so far, including even the game they won yesterday, they've never had all the firepower there at the same time. Like, there's never been a game where Cutler and JDM and Tarek turned up, so that's why they're not blowing any teams out, and most of the time they're lucky if they get two. And so right now, actually Tarek overall has been doing all right for the LAN. Cutler's been having his moments. JDM still seems, he doesn't seem like the player that we've seen against Na'Vi and against all these other really good teams. I mean, got a good map coming up now to have a chance to do so. That's one of the maps he's always performed well on, plays fantastically in the B site, but not the JDM I'm used to watching.
He was very quiet in this matchup. So
he's been, I think, well, honestly, he's been quiet all this event, and it's weird because he was coming in on a hot streak of online form. Lots of people talking about him being maybe the best AWP in NA. You know, Skadoodle's hardly's been shining right now. That title is definitely up for grabs. If someone wants to come and claim it.
Apparently, no one wants it.
Yeah, no one wants it. You know, like all the people who are out there. You know, I mean, it just seems crazy to me. Like, Kusta had an underwhelming performance. N1, I guess he'd be in the mix because Americans adopt anyone. Yeah, we're the Americans.
Yeah, we'd even adopt you, Rich.
Well, I can't wait. I'm loving it. I'm loving it out here.
We can.
Pretty slick.
Take your time.
Come on, buddy. Come on, we're all friends here. Yeah. Come on. But yeah, so it's a strange one for me. Like, CLG have been really underwhelming this tournament, and yet they keep on winning.
I mean, whenever I look at JDM, I think of Easter Island, and it's kind of a mystery what's going on with this guy. I don't know what's going on.
So what about Tarek Watch? We're always on Tarek Watch. Yeah. How do we think he did?
He'll live through the night.
Yeah, once again, it did good, but I mean, it is Dust 2. It's a map where you get a lot of freedom because the thing is, it's the T sides with him where we just kind of really don't know if he's going to fit into that role they want him to be in. And on Dust 2, he has a lot more freedom. There's a lot more ways that you can just improvise and make plays. So that lends itself. I think this one on Cobble is going to be a little bit more difficult for him to perform on that T side.
Well, we need a big T-side on Cobble. Anyway, boys, we're going to talk about that when we get back. We're going to take a short commercial break, about 5 minutes. When we come back, we're going to get into the second map of this matchup. Please do join us.
Join us on April 1st through the 3rd at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. Watch the best teams in Counter-Strike Global Offensive go head-to-head for a guaranteed prize pool of $1 million.
He could be able to get this. Got the ace clutch! Shazam!
Teams like Fnatic, Envious, Virtus Pro, and many more will be there. VIP is sold out, so make sure to get your general admission tickets now. Buy your tickets now at mlg.tv/csmajor.